So again, these options we set up in the prettier RC file and ESLint are not, you can do lots of different things here. You can not put these options in if you want to. This is just kind of a common set of options that we use with each of these ESLint or prettier extensions. So the last thing I wanted to look at was just in terms of getting this to some sort of source control. So built into Visual Studio Code is source control. Now, as it turns out, if you click on this source control button, you may not see this. If you already have, so on your machine, I already have Visual Studio installed. I've been working on different projects, right? There's an entry in there. And if you go look in your users file, so in my case, this is called record, right? In my users file, there's a git config file, and it has information about your GitHub. And so Visual Studio Code is automatically detecting that and connecting to my Git. And so I can commit this saying, I set up the default setup of React. All right, so I click on commit, and it says, would you like to stage all your changes and commit them? Yes. So it's going to do that. And then it asks me, well, do you want to publish this branch? And yes, I do. I want to get it up to GitHub. So I say publish branch, and it says, what do you want to do? Publish to a private repository or publish to a public repository? Well, I want to publish to a public repository, and it says the GitHub repository blah already exists. Anyone who knows me will not be surprised even in the slightest about that. So I'm going to call this instead, I'm going to call it React Setup Fun. So we're going to go publish to a public repository, React Setup Fun. I click on that, and it publishes those files up to GitHub. So publishing to GitHub, uploading files, and then we're published there. And so now if I go up to GitHub, open on GitHub, then I can see this project up there. And as I make changes now, so if I come back into the files and make changes, put in a little change there, save that. Then when I go to my source control, it's going to show that I made a change in app.tsx, and I can commit, but I can also commit and push. And so that'll show me what's been changed, and I can push that. It's thinking a lot about it. No, that wasn't an option. Sorry, I thought I was just seeing this window. So make for some great minutes watched in my tally of how many minutes you're watching. Just sitting here staring at this, waiting for it to be done. Although you're going to fast forward. I have to sit here, but you're going to fast forward, and you're probably watching at 2 times speed. I have to watch this at 1 time speed. I don't even know what it's doing anymore. There are a bazillion files. You may have noticed when you go in here and look in this node modules, there's just a ton of files. And so as we create this default React app, there's a lot included with it in the first place. So maybe I'll pause for a minute and see what happens here, because it makes me wonder, is there something wrong? It looks like everything's okay. Is there something on GitHub we're waiting for? Close that. All right, we're going to let this run and see what happens. This is unusual. Usually it just goes. We'll find out in a minute. Hang tight. So after waiting a long, long time, I just realized that I didn't put in a message. All right, how do I kill this? Kill it. Made a change. The best message ever. Let's try that. And there it worked. Commit operation was canceled due to an empty commit message, but now it committed. So now if I added that hello, if I go look on GitHub, click into React Setup Fun, then I go to my source, app TSX, and there's my hello. Okay, so it made it up there. So that's how we connect into GitHub using VS Code, and we'll use that to make sure we use source control with our projects, and that those files are backed up and ready to handle any changes, merges, all that kind of stuff. So with that, that's our setup. Next is getting in and actually writing some code. Spencer, out.